Welcome back to our channel. In computer games, for more realistic simulation of ball movement, correct projectile for the ball with respect to drag force on it due to air to be considered. Here we will plot the trajectory of balls along the range of projectile by considering the initial velocity and angle of the ball. As we can see, over a period of time, based on the initial angle to x-axis, ball don't take a straight line to hit the target. It goes over a range of projectile which depends on the initial velocity and angle to x-axis, and due to the drag force it comes down as the velocity reduces to hit its object or to the ground. So once we understand this, when we develop computer games, we can do it in a more realistic way. For that, first let me import numpy as np and have mass of the object, that is ball, as 1 kg, gravity 9.8 meter per second square, and initial velocity to 30 meter per minutes per second, and the angle to 60 degrees along x-axis, and k, the drag coefficient, as 0.05. First, let us calculate the initial velocity components x and y. The component vx and vy depends on the initial velocity v and the angle to x-axis. Here Vx is equal to V into cos theta and Vy is V into sin theta, and theta being radius, let us see the formula to convert angle in degrees to radius, which is theta in radians is degrees by 180 of pi. We have the initial velocity V as 30 and angle as 60 degrees to x-axis. So component Vx is velocity multiplied by cosine theta, where cosine we are taking from numpy. So np dot cosine, and convert the angle in degrees to radians by angle divided by 180 of np dot pi. This gives the x component of the velocity. And we will have Vx as a list so that subsequent component of velocity can be appended to this list. So to plot the range of our projectile, it is easy. Similarly, y component of velocity is v multiplied by sine theta. Now we will print this components Vx and Vy and then see. We can see Vx is 15 and Vy is 25.98. This is the initial x and y component of velocity when velocity is 30 and the angle is 60 degrees. Now for this velocity, let us calculate the acceleration, that is initial acceleration components x and y for this velocity. The acceleration components shall be ax and ay. Before calculating the acceleration component, there is one more thing that should be considered, is drag force on the object due to air. This introduces a resistance for the acceleration. Let us call drag force as F and acceleration components as ax and ay. Before writing the Python code, we will see the formula for drag force. Drag force F, that is the force of air on the object which resists its acceleration, depends on K, the coefficient of drag, and velocity square, V being the velocity. Now on knowing this drag force F, we can calculate the acceleration components Ax. Ax is nothing but negative value of acceleration force multiplied by cosine theta divided by mass. F is the drag force calculated. Theta is the based on the angle to x-axis and m is the mass of the object. Similarly, acceleration component y is negative gravity minus f multiplied by sine theta by m. Here G and M are fixed components. F is the drag force which varies as the functionality of velocity. K is the coefficient constant for the drag force. We have taken K as 0.05. It is multiplied with initial velocity square. This gives the initial drag force on the object. On knowing the initial drag force F, we can proceed to calculate our initial acceleration component AX and AY. As we have seen in the formula, Ax is negative of acceleration force multiplied by cosine theta divided by m. As theta to be in radians, let us convert the angle to radians, angle in degrees to radians by angle divided by 180 multiplied by pi. And the whole thing f multiplied cos theta divided by m being the mass. We have taken mass as 1 kg here for the object ball. And now the y component of acceleration is minus g, that is negative of gravity, minus f, that is f is drag force, f multiplied by sine theta divided by m. Here m mass divides only f sine theta. G, the gravity is not divided by m. So follow the braces. For sine theta and cos theta, we are using the numpy. Now we will display the calculated initial acceleration component Ax and Ay for the velocity 30 and angle to x-axis as 30 degrees. We can see acceleration is negative minus 22 and minus 48 due to the drag force and mass m on the object. Initially, the velocity is 15 and 25 for x and y component. Now, let us calculate these velocity and acceleration for a period of time so that we can plot the motion of the ball along the range of projectiles in terms of x and y. So let us initialize the list t to 0. Also have the variable counter initialized to 0. Now we will start a loop while loop and calculate for 10 counter values these velocities and acceleration components. Time has to be incremented as a function of delta t. T being a list, we can append or increment the new values using append method to the list t. Append t counter plus delta t. Delta t is the incremental function of time for which we are going to plot the ball or the range of projectiles. Delta t, let us initialize 2.2 seconds so that when we take count for 10, they are incremented in a range of 0.2 units. Now t is appended. For the incremented t value, let us calculate the velocity components Vx and Vy. Vx here is nothing but the current velocity sorry, that is Vx counter plus T delta T times the acceleration component x. When there is an acceleration, there is change in velocity. So the new value of velocity is in terms of the acceleration and time period. Similarly, y component of velocity is Vy current value plus delta t times the y component of acceleration. So for delta t, we got the updated velocity components, which are nothing but in terms of the current velocity and the function of acceleration with respect to delta t. Now, as there is change in velocity, let us calculate the magnitude of the new velocity. The magnitude of new velocity is a slope on xy plot where the new velocity is equal to square root of x square plus y square. So applying this formula, let us take new velocity to the variable VEL, velocity, square root of Vx counter plus 1 square plus Vy counter plus 1 square, which is nothing but the magnitude of new velocity is square root of x square plus y square. This gives the scope of the, based on the slope of the velocity curve, the magnitude of the new velocity gets calculated. Once the new velocity, magnitude of new velocity is known, the drag force, which is function of the velocity, also changes. So let us recalculate the drag force F, which is nothing but K, the coefficient constant of drag force, multiplied by new velocity square. Again, as the drag force has changed, the acceleration component x and y also gets changed. So the new acceleration component ax is appended to the original ax list, and the calculation is same. Ax is negative of drag force F multiplied by cosine theta whole divided by m, that is mass of the object. Here F is dependent on the velocity, magnitude of the velocity. So Ax, the x component of acceleration, changes. Again, y component, which is also dependent on drag force F, has to be calculated. So we will use same calculation AY and append it to the AY list using append method. So AY dot append with new value of AY based on the calculated drag force. So minus G minus of F multiplied by sine theta by M. Here G and M are constant. F, the drag force, is the varying one in terms of velocity. Velocity again depends on the acceleration parameters. So it's a cycle. As there is an acceleration, there is a change in velocity. As there is change in velocity, the magnitude changes and the force, drag force, changes. Again, the acceleration components are calculated. This continues until the ball hit the ground. So let us plot this. For that, I will import matplotlib as PLT so that we can see the variation of velocity along x-axis plotted against time. This plotting of velocity against x-axis Vx with the time will help us to understand only the velocity component. First, let us understand the velocity of the component with respect to time on the ball. Then we can easily understand the range of projectile for the ball movement. For that, let us call a plot method provided by matplotlib and call x-axis and y-axis. Y-axis, let me call it as velocity x, because here I am going to plot only against x component of the velocity with respect to time. Time taken at the x-axis and Vx taken at the y-axis. So this plot is provided by matplotlib. So we can see the plot by calling plot.show method. This is a time against the velocity in x range. Let us execute it. I got an error. Module matplotlib has no attribute called plot. I have imported matplotlib as PLT. So the error says there is no attribute called plot in PLT. For that, I should have import matplotlib pyplot. Pyplot is the one which can plot these methods. So now we will execute once again. We can see along time in x-axis, velocity Vx component is getting, velocity is getting reduced when the time increases. And it is not a straight line. As expected, velocity on x-axis decreases initially at a faster rate, then the rate decreases at a slower rate before it hits the ground. So now we will plot the range of projectile for the object, that is ball movement, along x and y axis. Let us have list x and y initialized to 0, and for every velocity v, let us calculate its x and y axis and append it to list x and y. So x dot append method is x value whose list takes counter as the index, which is incremented by delta t times the velocity of x component. Similarly, y-axis of the velocity is appended to y list, which is calculated as delta t multiplied by velocity against y-axis. Now we have got the range of x and y values for every change in velocity. The range of x and y gives us the trace of the movement of ball in 2 dimension, that is xy. So now let us plot it against x and y, which gives the range of projectile, and let us call y label as y and x label as x. To have a clear visibility, we will add another parameter to the plot, that is G for green and O for circle. So we will plot it as circle, green circle. We can see that this is the range of projectile of ball movement at delta t 0.2, but the ball has not hit the ground because we have taken only the count value for 10 times. Now when the ball hits the ground, the value of y axis will be 0. So let us run the while loop until y value is greater than or equal to 0. We are not restricting to plot the trace with 10 count values. We will take until the range of projectile for the object hits back to the ground. Now on executing it, we can see it's plotted against x and y until it hits back to the ground. This is the path, actual path, realistic trace of the trajectory. This can be applied to our game development rather than hitting the target directly. Applying this physics gives a realistic simulation for the game. Now we can also play around by changing the initial angle and velocity. Now the angle changed to 45-degree along x-axis. We can see the curve or the trace of the path is changed. Similarly, let me change the initial velocity from 30 meter per second to 80 meter per second. As the velocity is high in delta t, it goes further. To trace it for smoother movement, let me decrease the delta t time from 0.2 to 0.1. Now we can see smoothness of these balls as the velocity is increased. It's quite realistic replication of the ball movement which can be used in any of our game development.